Imagine that you just ate something late at night, maybe a quick snack, a hamburger, or even something sweet before bed. It seems like something common, almost harmless. But what few people realize is that, at that exact moment, the body initiates a sequence of silent reactions that can continue happening for the next few days, hours. While you sleep, hormones, digestion, and metabolism begin to clash with your biological clock. And this may explain why so many people wake up tired, hungry, or lacking energy the next day. The good news is that there's a simple detail that can reduce some of these effects tonight, and you'll discover it throughout the video. Now, to understand how it all really begins, we need to go back to the exact moment when the final bite happens, because that's where the body's invisible clock starts ticking. It's late at night, the house is quiet, the lights are dimmer, and your body is starting to prepare for sleep. Then that craving for something quick arises. Maybe a hamburger, a slice of pizza, or something sweet. It seems simple, doesn't it? You eat, you savor the taste, you feel satisfied, and you think it all ends there. But inside your body, at that exact moment, something important begins to happen. Imagine your body is like a city that operates on a well-organized schedule. During the day, everything is active. Energy circulates, organs work quickly, and metabolism is at its peak. But at night, this city begins to slow down. Some internal so. Factories reduce their pace because the body believes it's time to rest. When you eat late, it's like someone delivering a truckload of work, just as everyone is about to close. Your stomach needs to start digesting, producing acid, and using muscles to process that food. Even if you don't feel anything, your body is now working when it should be relaxing. And the most curious thing is that the first effects begin to appear just a few minutes later. Because as soon as the food reaches the stomach, another body system kicks in, the hormonal system. A few minutes after eating late at night, your stomach really starts working. Imagine it as a very powerful blender, designed to break food into very small pieces so the body can use that energy. To do this, it releases acid and begins to squeeze and move the food inside. Everything seems normal. After all, that's what the stomach is made for. The problem is the timing of this. At this time of night, your body is already slowing down to rest. The brain begins to prepare the body for sleep. Body temperature drops slightly, and various systems enter energy-saving mode. But when food arrives, the stomach receives a new mission: to work intensely. It's as if a factory that was already closing down suddenly had to reopen all its machines. The acid increases, the stomach muscles move more forcefully, and digestion begins while you may already be lying down to sleep. In some people, this can cause a feeling of heaviness, heartburn, or reflux. But while the stomach is busy with this task, another, even quieter process begins to take place, because along with digestion, the body releases a very important hormone, insulin. As soon as food begins to be digested, small parts of the food enter the bloodstream. Among them is sugar, which the body uses as fuel. To control this, the body releases a very important hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as a messenger that runs through the body telling cells, "Hey, new energy has arrived, let's store or use it now." During the day, this process happens all the time and usually works very well. But when you eat late at night, the situation changes a bit. Your body was already preparing to rest, slow down, and conserve energy. So when insulin appears at this unexpected moment, it ends up activating processes that tell the body to store energy instead of spending. It's like someone refueling a car that was already being parked in the garage for the night. The energy arrives, but it won't be used at that moment. Therefore, the body may end up storing some of it as a reserve. And all this happens while you're probably relaxing, watching something, or already going to sleep, without noticing any of these internal changes. But the most interesting part happens a few hours later, when you finally fall asleep, because your body needs to decide what to do first: sleep soundly, or continue digesting what you ate. A few hours later, you're finally asleep. From the outside, everything seems calm. The room is silent, your eyes are closed, and your body seems to be resting. But inside you, several things are still happening at the same time. Normally, during sleep, the body enters a special recovery mode. It is during this period that cells repair themselves, muscles recover, and the brain organizes everything that happened during the day. However, when food is being digested in the stomach, the body needs to divide its attention. Some of the energy that should be going towards recovery now needs to continue working on digestion. The stomach is still processing the food, releasing acid and moving everything so that digestion is complete. It's as if the body is trying to do two important jobs at the same time, resting and digesting. In some people, this can lead to lighter sleep, cause brief awakenings during the night, or simply prevent rest from being as deep as it should be. And that's exactly why, when morning comes, many people wake up with a strange feeling, as if they had slept but were still tired. Morning arrives, the alarm clock rings, and you open your eyes. In theory, you slept for several hours, but something feels strange. Your body feels heavy, your head still feels sluggish, and the urge to go back to bed appears within the first few minutes of the day. Many people have felt this and thought the problem was simply poor sleep, but sometimes the reason started much earlier, during the last meal of the previous night. When you eat late, your body may spend part of the night working on digestion instead of resting completely. This means that some important processes of deep sleep don't happen optimally. The brain doesn't fully recover, and the body doesn't conserve energy as it should. Therefore, even after sleeping, you may wake up feeling tired or lacking energy. Another interesting detail is that the body may still be dealing with the effects of that meal. Energy levels may rise and fall differently, and in some people, hunger may appear sooner than usual. But there's something even more interesting happening silently inside the body, something involving metabolism itself and how it uses or stores energy throughout the day. Once the morning begins, your body continues working even if you don't realize it. Inside, there's a system called metabolism, which functions like an engine that transforms food into energy. During the day, this engine is normally active, helping you walk, think, work, and move around. But when you eat very late the night before, this engine may need to adjust in a different way. Imagine that metabolism is like a team that organizes the body's energy. Part of this team decides when to use energy, and another part decides when to store energy for later. When food arrives too late, the body may interpret it as excess fuel at a time when it was already slowing down. Instead of using all that energy, it may end up storing some of it. This doesn't happen dramatically or immediately. Most of the time, it's something silent that the body does automatically to maintain balance. But small changes like this can influence how you feel throughout the day, your mood, your hunger, and even your cravings for certain foods. And it is precisely here that another very important character in this story enters the picture, the brain, which also begins to react to all of this. While all this is happening in the metabolism, the brain also begins to participate in the story. It's like the big boss who observes what's happening in the body and decides to send signals to control important things, like hunger and satiety. To do this, it uses two very special messengers called hormones. One of them is the ghrelin. The first one tells the body when it's time to feel hungry. The other is the second one, leptin, which helps to let us know when we've eaten enough. After a very late night meal, these signals can get a little confusing because the body was still dealing with digestion, sleep, and energy at the same time. The brain may interpret that it needs to ask for more fuel the next day. That's why some people wake up wanting to eat earlier or crave higher calorie foods, especially sweets or energy-rich things. It's as if the brain is trying to ensure that the body has enough energy to continue functioning well. All of this happens without us realizing it, simply through small signals that control hunger and satiety throughout the day. But when we look at this whole process closely, we realize something even more curious. Because the effects of this nighttime meal can stay with the body for a long time, almost a whole day. If we could observe the body as if it were a time-lapse film, we would see something very curious happening in the 24 hours after eating late at night. It all starts with digestion working when the body already wants to rest. Then hormones start organizing energy, sleep tries to adjust, and metabolism decides what to do with that extra fuel. Even if none of this is visible on the outside, inside the body, several small decisions are happening at the same time. It's like a large city that keeps functioning while most people are sleeping. Some areas slow down, others need to work harder than expected. The stomach digests, hormones move through the bloodstream, and the brain monitors everything to maintain balance. Gradually, throughout the following day, the body adjusts to these changes, until it returns to its normal rhythm. This shows something very interesting. The body is always trying to maintain balance, even when we do something outside of our usual schedule, and most of the time it manages to adapt very well. But there is another nighttime habit that can trigger even more intense reactions within the body, and almost everyone does it without realizing the impact in the following hours. After a full day, your body finally begins to return to balance. Digestion is complete, hormones have returned to their normal rhythm, and your metabolism has managed to reorganize the energy that came in the previous night. On the outside, it seems like nothing happened, but if we could observe everything that happened inside your body during those last few days, 24 hours, we would see an impressive sequence of small reactions working together to keep everything running smoothly. Your body is like a very intelligent team. Even when you eat late at night, it tries to adjust its internal clock, organize digestion, control energy, and prepare the body for the next day. All this happens silently, without alarms or strong signals. And that's exactly why many people don't even imagine that small choices at the end of the day can influence how they feel the next morning. But there's an even more curious detail in this story. Eating late can influence sleep, and sleep in turn can completely change how the body functions in the following hours. When we sleep less than necessary, another sequence of reactions begins within the body, involving energy, concentration, hunger, and even how the brain makes decisions. And that's exactly what we're going to find out in the next video. What really happens inside your body in the 24 hours after you get little sleep. Some of these effects begin as early as the first hours of the morning, and most people don't even realize it. If you enjoyed this simple explanation about the human body, leave your like, because this greatly helps the channel to continue bringing content like this, and take advantage of it to subscribe, because in the next video, you're going to discover something that could completely change the way you view a simple night's sleep.